What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a commander testing from your very own Shappy Gaming. You guys loved the previous testing that we did with simulators, and we are back with some more of that goodness. You guys loved it. We went ahead, we did our testing of Arthur. Everyone has probably swapped for him at this point. If you haven't, honestly, what are you waiting for? He is one of the best cavalry commanders in the game. And I'm so excited to be bringing you a brand new testing of Subutai, the Sword of the Khan. And honestly, we all saw this guy and we were like, oh, it's Khan Prime. I'm so glad it's not. But this commander is the pair commander to Arthur. He is also a combo attack commander, which is a really big deal. And I could not be more excited. Now, this guy is cavalry, conquering, and combo attack, which is a big deal. Now, I don't think he's going to be paired with Arthur. So I think he will probably be going with some of the existing commanders that we have. I have some ideas already, but before we actually get too far into the simulator testing itself, let's walk you through all the different skills so you understand how they're going to come into play. And you can let me know in the chat, who do you think that we should be testing him with? Wardaddy Chadski will be joining us today. He's finishing up his current stream. And while we do that, let's talk about it. So here we are. We have Subutai. We know he's conquering. We know he's combo. And we know he's cavalry. Let's look at that first skill. So his first skill is going to be Thundering Hooves. Thundering Hooves has a rage requirement of 1,000, which is kind of the standard. No big deal there. Except when it happens, he launches 3 combo attacks against a target troop with a damage factor of 1000. Now I believe that damage factor is 3 combo attacks of 1000, which equates to 3000 combo attacks, which is absolutely mind-blowing. And remember, this commander, Subutai, specifically leverages normal attack damage. So whenever you see a normal attack damage buff, he is going to specifically benefit from that. And that 1000 is going to be buffed by that. So just keep that in mind. He's not skill damage, he's combo attacks. For his second skill, cavalry units gain 15% march speed. We know we don't really care about that, right? However, if he's leading a rally attack, cavalry units and their rallied army also gain 20% attack and 30% defense, which is a pretty big deal, I think. I think it's somewhat of a big deal. So we'll see how this shakes out. But what this really means here is that when you're running him, you really want to be running him for rallies, because the attack bonus, this 20% attack bonus, this 30% defense bonus is actually not going to be helping you when you're running him in the field. Now, that skill damage or the combo attack damage is really nice, so maybe there's some benefit here. Let's look at the next couple of skills. So for the next couple of skills, let me hide this little thing up there. Wherever the whip points, love that name. If this commander's troop is attacking a city or stronghold, city rallies, their troop gains 10% more combo attack damage. And when their troop launches a combo attack, it has a 60% chance to gain a 15% bonus to normal attack damage. That's pretty massive, because remember, that 15% bonus is also going to buff the primary skill. Now the other thing is, this is also going to buff this same skill here, where you have more combo damage. So this is actually kind of crazy. Now, this lasts for 8 seconds, which means that you can pull off an Attila skill or any other commander with normal damage. That's probably, I think, between 4 and 5 at least basic attacks. So that's quite a bit. And this effect can stack. And when it stacks, the duration resets. So you can actually have this skill lasting a really long time, which is spectacular. It's a really big deal when we talk about how this commander is going to work, because the longer he's out, the more damage he could potentially be dealing. For his fourth skill, whenever this commander's troop launches a basic attack while outside of Alliance territory, has a 30% chance to launch a combo attack with a damage factor of 700, which again is quite a bit. So overall, he's looking like he's going to be pretty meta. I think he's going to be pretty meta. This also means, though, that you're probably not going to want to be using him as a counter rally, because this fourth skill is not going to make any difference for you whatsoever. So just keep that in mind. He's probably not going to be the best counter rally commander, but that's okay. I think his kit is pretty good other than that. Now, he is what we would call a nuke. He's not buffing anything else. He's only buffing himself, which is good for a rally. That's what you like to see. Now, his expertise is where things get really interesting. If this commander's troop is attacking a troop on the map, their active skill inflicts the burn effect. Now, you'll notice this is a troop on the map specifically. It's not a target that's a city or a structure. And the burn effect lasts for 2 seconds, and whenever the target is hit with a basic attack, it has a 50% chance to take more normal damage for the next 1 second. Which again, if you can get this to proc right before a big normal damage combo skill, that's where it's going to be really nice. So you could put him with someone like Arthur in the field if you plan to run him in the field. Again, I don't know that you're going to want to do that, but you could, and that's where this is going to come in handy. Now you guys may be saying, hey, this whole burn effect sounds familiar. The burn effect is also inflicted by Takeda, which starts to give you ideas of who you could be putting him with. Now, if he's attacking a city or stronghold, the active skill inflicts an enhanced version of the burn effect on the target for 2 seconds. Whenever the target is hit with a basic attack, it has a 100% chance to take 20% more normal damage for 1 second. So he's now debuffing the target when he's hitting it, which is awesome. So overall, his kit is pretty great for rallying, and I'm thinking already he has meta potential. And obviously there are already some commanders I'm thinking could potentially work. So we'll have to take a look at how this works, and we are going to jump into the simulator right about now. So let's hide this. There we go. Let's jump over to our simulator. So you guys may have seen this simulator before. This is not the first time that we have had this on our channel, but I'm excited to show you guys how it is going to work with Subutai. So we're in here, and here's how we have everything set up right now. Our first pair that we're going to test is Subutai with Attila. Now, that's because this pair is going to be ridiculously good. Now, I also am rallying against Gorgo Heraclius, because this is an infantry garrison, and this is going to be our best indicator as to whether this setup is truly as broken as I think it might be. Because if we can beat the infantry garrison, then things are not looking good for the current meta of Garrison. Now, a couple other things. We're using Arabia as our civilization because if you're going to be rallying, you are probably going to be wanting to have that, because the Arabia civilization does give you a buff to your rally damage. So that's why we're using that. For our defense, we can actually probably use something like France, which is going to give you greater troop health, and that also gives you the specialty France unit for infantry. Now we're doing a 2 million count rally here, and I'm intentionally leaving off certain things. So I'm going to go in here and I will choose a formation, because I think we should have a formation if we can. Let's go with Arch, and we'll keep what they have there for inscriptions out the gate. For defense, I think we should probably pick Wedge if we're going to be garrisoning. That makes sense. And I'm going to leave off the ring, and I'm going to leave off the horn. Actually, let's keep the horn, and we'll leave off the ring. The ring I'm leaving off specifically because in our last simulator testing, which if you guys missed that, go check it out. That was our Arthur simulator testing. We had a lot of people telling me, hey, Chappy, this ring adds a lot of complexity, and it could be impacting how this is all going to shake out. And obviously, I want this to be the most accurate testing on YouTube for Rise of Kingdoms for Subutai, so my goal is to make sure that we're avoiding any variability that could come into play here. So that's what we're doing, and let's see if Chadski wants to hop in. So let's see, and while we do that, I think we should run this first battle and see how it all goes. So we're running at double time right now, and let's rock and roll. So far, things are looking pretty spicy. Not too bad, but Subutai Attila lost. And this is using this talent tree on the bottom left here, which is the Arthur talent tree that was previously set up. That's such a bummer. Really? Let's see the battle report here. So we lost by quite a bit here, and despite that normal damage buff that we're getting, you're still seeing a negative trade with Attila Subutai. Typically you would expect to probably lose this but still deal more severely wounded. So this is surprising to me. Let's turn off these inscriptions real quick. Let's just head over here. Okay. To unequip formations entirely, reclick the equipped formations. Okay, so let's do that. And let's get rid of it, because I don't necessarily like that. I don't really like how that shook out. We could try it with Delta formation. You guys want to try that? Let's try it with Delta. That could be interesting. So let's reset the battle, and let's remove the formations. See if that had anything to do with the variability that we saw there. So let's go ahead and let's run this again. No formations this time. So I'm wondering if wedge formation really made much of a difference there. I don't think it did. It's possible, but I don't think it did. That was much closer. That was much closer, guys. So without formations, this duel looks a little bit more interesting. Now the thing is though, when we're talking about rallying, the advantage that you're getting with Subutai and Attila is that you're swarm proof. So you can actually throw it in here and still do great. Did I just see raid? What? So you can actually throw that rally in here and still do pretty well. So even if you're getting swarmed, which is one of the major advantages here, you would typically use this rally, Subutai with Attila, if you are trying to wear down the enemy. And that's where this is going to particularly come in and be effective. So let's jump in now and change it to a delta formation to see how this is going to hold up, because it may make a significant difference. I heard Chadski raided. What is up, y'all? Coming from Chadski. Welcome, welcome, y'all. How does new rally commander with Arthur look? I think Arthur is going to be interesting. Most of his skills don't actually come into play here. So I'm gonna try it with delta formation, and then we'll swap around the primaries for you guys so you can see exactly how it all shakes out. So here we are, and let's go over and let's swap around the formation, because formations did make a difference. So let's come in here and we'll do delta formation. We have to reset battle. In here, delta formation. There we go. And I think we have to put on the wedge formation. I think we have to. So let's try this again. And you guys are saying we want Attila primary. We're gonna try Attila primary. Welcome everyone from the Chadski stream. Appreciate you guys. Welcome to the Shappy squad. If you guys are new, be sure to drop a like. Whoop whoop. For all the Shappy members, let's get some hypes in here. And let's see how this duel is gonna go for us. So reset the battle. We have delta, we have wedge. And let's start it. Okay. Little bit better. Peace raid 2? What? Holy cow. Thank you, Chadski, for gifting the memberships. Wow, y'all rock. You guys rock. And Gosu finally got, Gosu and Milton got a membership. So congrats, y'all. It's been some time. You guys have been waiting for him. Yeah, I was using Arch earlier, and we just swapped to Delta because some people said that we should. If you want, we can also swap our Gorgo to a Arch formation. So let's do that, and let's try it again. So far, this is not looking as exciting as I was hoping it would. I really thought this guy was gonna break Gorgo. Where are you going, broski? Good question. Let's get you on here, my friend. Here we are. We're bringing in the Chadster. There you are. What up, Chadski? How's it going, my friend? Welcome, welcome.
I love it. Hold on. What is my... Still ringing. Okay. What are you doing, bud?
What am I doing? You know what we're doing. We are doing a simulator testing of Subutai. You just did that within your stream a little bit. Give me the breakdown. What did you see? What is your take on him just going into this?
You're already on the right track. We were just jacking around a little bit. Crix and I just like to cook stupid stuff. So typically how you got to set this thing up on these sims, you know, the sim. So basically you want to get a good, like I always start with like the best of the best. So the first thing you do, you see that fireball up there, click on that, make sure you're on reinforcements. There you go. So now you're reinforcements. Okay. And then on all the gear, you're going to right click all the gear, each one.
That's fair. If you're a rally leader, you're probably going to have everything maxed out.
Maxed out. Yeah. Now we don't have to get into the tier stuff, but outside of that, what I typically like to do is run 3 million cap, but you can run 2 million. That's fine. And then change that to Season of Conquest. Yep. So you're cooking. You're looking good.
We're cooking with gas now, y'all.
On the Gorgo Hera, you see where that troop is right there by your cursor?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. To the left of that. The troop.
That
click
one.
that. Make it 3.
3.
There you go. Perfect.
Sweet.
So
we're
yeah,
all set
you're cooking, bro.
So far, I gotta say, he's looking kind of meh.
He's looking kind of meh. Now, when you put Attila primary, that's when it starts opening up a little bit.
So what's your take on this combo tree, man? Everyone was saying when the new commander comes out, the combo tree is going to be what's the meta. You and Chisco were investing in Delta formation like it was nobody's business. What happened?
Now the Delta does better than the Arch. It definitely does. And did you go ahead and click all the inscriptions for Delta?
I didn't click any inscriptions yet. Right now we're just running it raw.
Okay. So the reason why the Delta is so important, and you're probably going to trade a little negative, with him primary. Now, when you flip that around and you put Attila primary, then that's when you start cooking this Garrison.
Oh,
and so
is Attila back? Is Attila back,
Chadski?
Well,
the hard, without the inscriptions, especially, the hard part is that you can't get him to bridge with Attila every time. Yeah, you just got one tree with Attila. That's it.
Oh, man,
and so
bummer.
when you can't get him to bridge with Attila, now with Attila primary, you're going to ramp up that normal damage bonus to where he's hitting the combo.
Okay, let's go back to Delta here. I'm still not picking inscriptions, but let's start this and see if this goes any better.
Now, what's fun is that you can hit that report while it's going on.
Yeah, and you can see it as it goes up. I didn't know that.
There you go.
Fun.
So now you can see that really starts cooking. Now where it really starts cooking, and even if you put the special inscriptions for Arch on Gorgo, you put the special inscriptions for Delta on this March, then I think you're going to see something kind of crazy.
Really? I'm excited.
That's because that's where the Delta really, really works with the butterfly. And the other special inscriptions it's got, it really starts cooking. So,
well, the other thing you got to remember is when we talk about rally and Garrison, right? Typically, you are going to cancel that rally when it gets red. So you're never really fighting to the death. So if you're just doing like a zone 5, right, or even a zone 7, you are going to be wearing down that enemy. Part of me actually wants to reset this and say, what happens if we just do it for like 2 minutes, right? And go from there.
You can go, you can, your little gear icon to the right, you can set your time on it.
So there we go. We're about 2 minutes in yet. And you can already see this is where I think the impact's going to come in.
Yeah.
Because you're wearing them down a lot. So Attila's back.
Yeah, and especially when you start getting that Garrison, the troop march, and the Garrison gets below 50%, then Attila's expertise wakes up. And when that expertise wakes up, like you scroll over to his expertise over there on the left, when that thing kind of wakes up and you start doing 20% more normal attack damage,
that kicks off. Then that's when it's active like crazy.
Yeah, and then Gorgo's got hers too. So when you get down to 50%, she's got some synergies that go up too. And I don't know if it's that one. Yeah, it is. So you start having a 50% chance to throw up the shields, and so anytime the beauty with her, and this is why Constantine worked good with her, is anytime she would throw up a shield, Constantine would take 50% less skill damage. I mean, just crazy. So it's just nuts. But yeah, that's kind of how you got it. Now, you start putting the inscriptions on Delta, then that's when it gets freaking wild.
Okay, should we just go for all the legendaries? Let's just pick all 4 legendaries.
So you go all 4, because that's what a lot of players are going to have, maybe 2. I wouldn't put destructive. Go ahead and do calm. It's going to do better.
Oh, that's right. You're a big hater on destructive. How could I forget?
No, we literally just part of the reason why I wanted to do the sim, and I only did it for about 20 minutes, but I was just showing players like it's a full half second per cycle that you miss out on skill cycles with destructive, and it's hard. It's just really hard, but calm will do better.
By the way, if anyone wants to test this themselves, I see people saying no ring. Why do you need ring? Why is ring not here? In previous streams when I've done this, people have said the ring adds a lot of variability because that extra 50% bonus has an impact, right? So unless we're going to run this same test 15 times, which maybe we will, probably not, the ring messes things up. So that's why there's no ring. For everyone who's like, where's the ring? So let's test this out.
but TJ's got a good point here. TJ say you can test it out with no ring, but part of the benefit of the butterfly is that, and if you go into the inscriptions, it'll actually show you what butterfly is.
Yeah.
So to scroll over it, your effects, and that's your tier 5 effects, that's your ring and horn effects, that's your proc effects with commanders. Those ramp up so much faster, and it's actually a benefit to the delta. But you can run it without the ring and then run it with the ring on both, and then that's where it's actually a benefit for the delta.
Interesting. I wonder, have you tried butterfly with Mora by any chance?
With Moore's Web, it's same thing. In Moore's Web, the dagger and all that stuff. The only problem is nobody's going to run Arthur in the field,
right?
As a primary, and so you don't really have a combo commander in the field to run them with, to run the web and to run the dagger. You can maybe do it in the Garrison, but I mean, ring horn is kind of where you want to be,
right?
On the rallies and Garrison. So, but yeah, go ahead and run it. You'll kind of see the power.
We'll add a ring in a sec. So let's see. I'm curious to actually see if the ring does make a difference here. But this is actually kind of reassuring. What did you see when it came to the other garrisons? Does the archers get obliterated?
Archers get smoked pretty good. Now, the one garrison that can kind of go toe-to-toe with this is an artifact CY behind Gorgo. And so, I think there's some things in the simulator that Speckoh's got to flush out as far as the effects that has on the rally. But that's the only thing that can hang with the rally. The rally just crushes everything.
Wow.
And so,
oh yeah,
like even this, you're starting to run it up. So, and that, I think that's the hard part, is the delta formation for the rally of Subutai. It's very underwhelming because Arthur really doesn't have a combo commander to pair with, right? So at least they bridge the gap by giving him skill damage, right? And you can put him secondary, and he's great.
Yeah.
But I think Arthur will really be unleashed when you get another combo commander in the field. The same thing with Subutai here. But you're starting to see where Delta comes into play. Like, holy geez, like that Delta's got some cool effects that does crazy stuff. So,
see, the thing is, I think that's where there's a gap, though. And for rally commanders, it's nice, right? And to be honest, I'm kind of glad that they did it this way, because your rally commanders are going to be the ones that are getting the butterfly inscription, right? For me, I'm 78 million normal player. I'm not getting that. There's no way. So I'm kind of glad that they've kept my existing formations that I've spent the last year and a half building as being pretty much field viable. That's a big deal for me.
Well, I think, for people looking at the rallies and garrisons, when this rally is performing as good as any high damage rally there is, the benefit of this rally is that it's complete anti-swarm. Like, you're going to get smoked.
Well,
if you try
exactly.
To swarm this thing.
And that's why Attila was so good when he was meta, right? Because even if you lost, you won, because some schmuck would come in and swarm you.
Well, it's when Subutai throws up his 30% stack, he does the 2 stacks of 15% normal damage. That's 30% perpetual, pretty much. Then 30% on top of Attila's skill, then 30% counterattack on Attila's skill, and then his 4 skill that's all damage that procs. You're just going to explode if you try to touch it. And so I think the benefit is that when you have a rally that has the prickliness effect of Attila, and it's still doing as well to the garrison as any high damage rally, then that's when you're cooking with gas. Right. I mean, it's off the charts.
Now, I do think it's going to be interesting, though, because you have to remember, if you're launching this rally because you don't have the field, you'll trade all right. The problem is going to be you can't reinforce it. So at a certain point, you will run into an issue where you're not trading well, and that's where you would cancel. And so long as no one swarmed you, you still could lose, right? From a trade standpoint.
Yes. And that's, people have to understand this. When you run this rally and you don't have field, you start looking at that, it starts ramping up real fast. And but when you run this rally and you don't have field, you want them to swarm you. And if they swarm you and they're not stopping, just let it go to sad face. Because even at lower amount of troops, they're still kicking out so much damage. But and you're not taking deads. I mean, the swarm's getting you, and you get the sevs, but you're kicking out so much damage. You're trading positive on those. But if Smart Kingdoms, if they don't swarm you and you're just kind of running it down, then you got to cancel. I mean, unless you want to get smoked on your trade.
So Chad, are you going to swarm this? I mean, you saw our other video, Mr. Kraken of all Krakens. Would you swarm this rally if it's thrown at you? It
depends. Now, the only way that you decide to swarm this, and it's the same thing, because we were using SA with Attila, and anything you use with Attila, when you've got to be very, very good. You've got to have everybody on voice, and everybody's got to go all in on the swarm. If you do not, if you kind of halfway swarm it, where only 3 or 4 players are putting 15 marches on it, it hurts so bad. But when everybody goes in, and you got 40x, 50x, 60x on the rally, you don't trade near as bad. It's still not great, but you don't trade near as bad. But you're right, bro. You can get caught out sometimes.
Right? Because remember, I said you also got to be realistic, though. Because remember, let's say like 90% of the different players that play this game today are not going to even have the number of whales with the tech to be able to swarm this effectively. It's only going to be like your kingdom or the other Imperium kingdoms or the really high top tier AC. It's like, I'm in 3265. We're a really strong kingdom. I don't know that I would say we should swarm this.
Yes, it's hard. It's really hard. But, counter rallies are okay. I mean, you're gonna kind of get your garrison smoked a little bit. But if you can get a counter rally on this, and on the counter rallies, what I love to counter with when Gore goes in the garrison is Takeda. I love Attila Takeda on the counter rally because Takeda puts the burn effect on the rally. Right. And when Gorgo fires off her smite, I mean, it's just like kaboom. I mean, it really helps the garrison.
So we're not getting rid of Takeda, you don't think?
Well, I mean, that's really the only time I'll ever use it.
I think he's done.
I'll ever use it.
Because looking at this, I mean, Attila's Subutai is going to be your new city rally too.
That would appear so. So that's the kind of garrison. Now, if you want to check out Takeda, put Takeda primary real quick. See what happens.
Takeda primary. Okay.
Yeah, in that awesome mobility tree. Look at that thing over there.
Oh dear gosh. God.
You're gonna run.
We'll do Delta. Here you go. There we go.
Well, so you're running up so much of the burn effect because Takeda's got 4-second burn. Subutai has 2-second burn. And when you're ramping up that normal damage, it really helps when the combo hits. So that's one to
let's see.
To kind of try out. I think you'll be surprised.
It's trading positively, which is kind of disgusting. At this very moment. Yeah.
It is. That's more getting carried by a Subutai, right?
That's ridiculous. I mean, I guess it makes sense though, because Subutai is kind of a nuker.
Yep. And he's, what's crazy, if you run it in regular speed, you can see the red numbers when he hits his combo that are here. Hold on, you'll see it, and just wham, like 30K. Yes. And so he does all those combo, and when you get his extra combo to hit with that proc combo, you get even more red numbers. I mean, it's just like that right there. You get you get the extra red numbers from his other combo. So he hits hard, man.
That's ridiculous. Have we tried swapping him yet with Subutai primary?
I think you can get him to bridge. When he runs it with Takeda, you got max stat, you hit your delta, and you look at your proc rate on the left side. So after you start the battle, you'll see the proc rate on the left, and it's got that yellow in parentheses. The yellow gives you the last skill cycle, how many seconds. Well, the first one's always like 8 or 9. It's a lot. But once he gets ramped up with his rage, you'll start to see that go down to 6. And he as a primary with the Delta, I think he fires off so fast that you're going to run like your average proc rate to like 6.1. You're going to do some turns where it only takes 5 seconds to run your skill cycle. So it's pretty crazy. I don't know if it quite trades as well, but it does give you kind of a different effect.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think the other thing that's neat about him is he has this stacking skill, right? You have a 60% chance to stack 15 bonus, which also makes simulator testing damn near impossible because you can end up with some stacks that work and some that don't. But that's wild too, because once you start getting those stacking in a longer battle, that can make a huge difference, especially if we talk about think about a double rally on a pass.
Yep. Now you see the normal damage you've got in the middle there on the left, and you'll see the red parentheses there. Mm-hmm. When you see 30, that means that Hera is mitigating the normal damage done by 30%. Now, when you see it go to green, that's when you see a bonus to the normal damage, and that's the burn effect. That's where the burn effect comes into play.
Wow. So he's literally burned at all times except for when Hera's debuffing you.
Yes. And it's pretty incredible how much normal damage that ramps up.
So I can totally see you running Subutai Takeda and then Attila Subutai at a pass and just destroying.
Pass, yeah.
Because then you've got your debuff that's keeping that burn effect on constantly.
Constantly, yep. And you can do some crazy stuff. I mean, if you really want to think about it, you run a Subutai with Takeda, and then you go run CPO Emilianus and Wallace as like the damage rally and let that burn effect with all the smite. Oh, you're cooking.
Yeah, this is pretty game changing. Now the only bummer I have about Subutai is he kind of sucks for a counter rally.
That's not good. Yeah, that's very underwhelming.
It's that skill right there. I was reading through the skills when I first kicked this off, and I was like, wait, what do you mean? Outside of Alliance territory? You mean this skill's useless otherwise? Like, what's that about?
The only thing here is that I think it's just a one-shot deal. But if it was like a stacking combo situation where you had chances for it to stack twice or 3 times, that would maybe make that work a little bit better. But I mean, just with his active, the amount of red numbers he puts on the Garrison is just stupid.
He works as primary. It's not as good, but he does work. I think you're right. Takeda as primary was disgusting. Let's try Cho, and who should we put behind him? Shajar, or do we want to put?
I'd put Hera with him. That's the most common one you're going to see.
Okay. And
you just got to reset those things every time. Now, nobody has, like, Wedge is fine, and nobody has, Testudo, or he doesn't even have Testudo on the sim. But
no one's going to use Testudo in the field.
No.
Okay, so I guess let's try this one just to see for fun. And then we can go back to Attila, but I also want to try him with Justinian, because Justinian's currently your cavalry meta, which I think could be interesting, because I feel kind of terrible if you have Justinian right now and Subutai comes out. Like, what are you gonna do? You kind of go.
You go ahead and speed this up, and I think that you're gonna see. We speed this up. You're gonna see this one kind of pop off pretty good. Of course, you're running calves into archers, right?
Yes, I should have. But yeah. Should this be full archers, you think?
If you run full archers, then you're going to want to run Dido behind it, or you're going to run like a artifact Gorgo behind it.
Which do you think is more realistic, though? If we're talking about like field battles.
Yeah. If we're talking about in the game, your mixed troops are probably going to be more realistic. So.
Okay, how do we do here?
Oh yeah, it's going to cook.
Archers got melted.
And that's not even the Attila. Wait till you put the Attila on that thing.
Okay, let's try this. Here we go. Someone told me I had field talents enabled. So now we got Garrison just for you. Auster, it's for you. If you haven't liked the video, now you have to like it.
There you go.
Okay, let's throw Attila on, and let's see how badly this obliterates them. I'm so excited. You know, I've been over here saying Attila's going straight to the grave. If Attila's back in the meta, oh my god.
Oh, dude. If you run, make sure your inscriptions are back on. You got to reset that.
Yeah,
but that's
pretty
just
annoying.
that's how it works.
Okay, there we go.
PTI, Hera, and mixed troops all the time. The hard part with archers, it's really hard to have enough players to just fill nothing but archers. I mean, that's hard. You can do it, but it's just hard to do.
It's gonna change now, though, right? Because I feel like historically, your best rally was gonna be an archer rally.
Mm-hmm.
That's
why it's always been archers or cav.
Ash rallies are king. If I look at my troops killed this KVK, it's probably been mostly archers. Maybe you'll throw a Scipio Emilianus, but I haven't seen all that many people with him maxed.
Yeah, TJ brings up a good point. Like he'll even carry XY, bro. You want to see something fire off as fast as it does, you put the XY primary and see what happens. It is incredible how fast it goes. Like you can see your proc rate over here on the left. You're going every 7 seconds, and which is pretty good. And so
why stop at XY? When you roll, we could do Ho Chi Bing.
You do everybody. Yeah, if HQ can you get enough of his field talents to actually, negate, if you will, it works out really, really well.
Well, I'm also wondering, yeah, he has to be in a rally. That's the thing. I don't know you can use him in the field.
I don't think you can. I mean, you can get that burn burn effect. Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's just gonna cook archers. That's just gonna cook it.
That is brutal.
Yeah, it's just this is where PTI is kind of turning over in his grave. It is it's a little bit tough.
Oh man. Okay, let's see that. Oh wait, no.
Well, you got to throw some inscriptions on there. Go ahead and put wedge on there because most cav players have wedge.
And with Justinian, that's what you're running, right? I feel like the Delta formation is kind of an obstacle. I don't know that many people have it.
It is.
Let's see.
And this is going to do really well. Of course, anything calves running into archers, you know how that's going to look. I mean, it's going to burn them up.
We could do like Hera YSS to get a true like pass rally, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because that's a duo I've seen a bunch where you just are like, put anything in, I don't care. I've got leadership gear, just get it in. Yeah, this is brutal too. That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, I got bad news for I don't rally leads.
Yeah. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. Now, the one thing you can do against this, it doesn't quite perform quite as well, but it's still really potent, is to run Attila with the arch stuff. Some players still have that.
Yeah, I would do that. I don't know. I feel like I have an Attila arch setup because I rally cities, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And if you're a city rally person, and I know there's mixed feelings on this, some people like it, some people don't. It's okay. If you're a city rally person, you probably have a decent arch setup today.
Yeah, or at least you got something. That's the fun thing to do in the game. A city rally. It's like the most fun thing to do.
I love city rallies. City rallies are like, the big thing right now is farm filling, right? If you can like send your 5 marches and do a little sneak and swarm the shit out of those farms, like, oh, that's also
that's the best.
Makes me feel some kind of way. Oh yeah, this is honestly, I gotta say, Chad, I don't know that you need Delta. I know you and Chisco really like it, but like,
no, you don't. You don't. That's what I'm saying. You don't. And the only thing is that, I mean, normal stuff for the cav rally it's just kind of an anomaly. Typically nobody. If you've got the arch stuff, it's typically for your infantry. Like, so not a lot of people have it. Like that's. But if you do have it, you don't have to switch to Delta. And so,
well, the other thing you have to remember, Chad, is normal damage is also going to boost your field swarming damage. So when we talk about you don't want to swarm this, if someone's running it with an arch formation, they're going to be taking
Mhm.
the swarmers
yeah.
are going to take even more damage, whereas the delta is only giving you that delta.
Mhm. That's right. That's right. And it's already provided some. I mean, let's think about this: 60% normal damage, 30% counterattack, and then the force skill of Attila to get 50 or 100% all damage. I mean, bro. I mean, you're going to explode. You touch that thing, and it's instant 25K, 30K whites on your counterattack. It's just like, why did I do that? Especially against like a fort or a pass. Oh,
the only thing better would be as if there were some AoE. Give me a circle proc combo attack AoE.
right. Right. Oh, that would be great.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is pretty disgusting. Even with arch formation, for everyone who didn't max Attila, you guys messed up. You guys messed up.
Oh,
bad.
you can't say. Put HQ. I want to see what that does.
I want to see how he does. Only
you gotta
because
put
he
inscriptions
skill
on it.
cycles
Oh,
really
oh,
quickly.
Oh, bro, look over there. I mean, he's running it to 6. It's every 6 seconds.
Right.
He's running 5 seconds in some cases.
It's because his skills
you don't have you don't have
range.
inscriptions on them. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And
okay.
Yeah, go throw those on there.
Let's throw this on. You throw Hunter, Intrepid on Unstoppable. Oh, I think this is going to be brutal.
I might cook. I don't know if it'll be quite as good, but you run you run your skills every 6 seconds on average. While if you look at the Garrison, they're running every 8 seconds. I mean, that's kind of the benefit to this that's what you're able to do. And so it's going to trade pretty good. Now, granted, you're running against archers and you got other stuff that probably does better. But I think that gives people an idea of how fast this thing procs with Huo. And even with XY goes even faster, bro. It's wild. It is crazy wild.
Dang, that's super exciting. The fact that you can pair almost any other commander with him, like we saw Takeda with Mobility Tree. We saw Ho Chu Bing with Field Tree and Wedge Formation. Like, there shouldn't be a synergy there, but it works.
It works. Yeah, you're right.
That's kind of crazy. So what other garrisons do we have that people use? We'll do Hera YSS. Let's see how that works. I really wanted to see what happens if you run like mixed T4 and T5. Because I feel like that's pretty realistic. Let's see. We still got 3 troop types. Let's give them a formation. What should we have here? Wedge, you think?
Wedge is probably the best. Yeah, you're doing skill damage with that.
Okay, there we go. And let's put a real rally pair here. Let's do Justinian just for fun. Just to try and give those that are using Justinian a little bit of hope.
Inscriptions? Yeah, inscriptions on your Justinian.
Yeah, those inscriptions having to be reset every time is just slightly annoying.
Yeah, this is slightly like, hey, Speckoh, let's modify that.
Okay, for everyone who is looking at this and they're wondering, like, where did you get this? I have Speckoh's Patreon linked in the description. You can go check him out. I also did an interview with Speckoh. I know, time for shameless plugs. I do have an interview series. Chadski was on it. It was a great time. But I also have an interview with Speckoh that's probably going out next week. So talking all about how he made this thing.
That's cool. Yeah, TJ, CY definitely needs circle. It's just nobody has circle. Like, nobody has like crazy inscriptions for circle.
It's just unrealistic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is fun. See, the problem with this, and this has always been my problem with skill rallies, is you're not dealing as many severely wounded, right? The thing I love about Attila as primary and why he's been such a viable city rally even until now is because of the fact that he deals so many severely wounded that he's filling those hospitals. Yeah, this is crazy.
That works out really well. Now run Attila into that thing. See what happens.
You know that's what's next.
It's painful though. You gotta go do the inscriptions again. But that's
okay. We're sticking with Arch. I know Delta's better. I recognize Delta's better, but I want to be practical. I want to be the people's rally lead here. I don't know, Chad.
Oh, yeah.
At this point, would you still be investing in Delta armaments?
Probably not. If you're basically, here's how it is. If you are a Cav rally, if you're one of the main rallies of your kingdom, odds are you've got great wedge stuff, right? And if you're let's face it, if you're a high end rally player, you're a spender, and so you can maybe afford to get the conversion stones, and you can just swap that. You can swap your wedge stuff over to
True.
Delta if you're really going to run the heck out of this rally.
Jesus.
And so yeah, that's that's not good. But you know, those types of players can easily swap that Delta back. I mean, it's costly, but you could do it. And so you're going to get that bundle refresh every month. So it gives you some options to do some things. But that's the one question I think people have to understand. And JDR, my guy. These are my guys in here now. JDR wants to burn Buster. Poor Buster.
You're a legend, man. I appreciate you. I got new members this stream. I got supers this stream. You guys all rock. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, this is wild, Chadski. It's
crazy.
So we're gonna probably have Subutai out before Kingsland, I think. What day does he officially drop?
I think February 24th is the date, and because they typically go two cycles in between the releases. So we got the last cycle right now with Philip and John and all those people in the MGE, and I think we're gonna get 2 more cycles. But
you might be right. I wish he was next cycle.
Pop out of this, and let's go ahead and put the Gorgo CY in there with the artifact.
Okay.
And just run pure infantry, and then you're going to see the one thing that I think kind of counters this a little bit. And so, but I would run. But
even then, you need to be in a certain KVK type for that, right?
Yes, you got to be in the artifact KVK. But you're running, calves into infantry, and it's still okay, right?
Okay, we got artifact on. This is still all set. Good. What do you want? You want Delta or you want normal here?
Stream it to me real quick. Do Delta. Make sure we're doing Delta.
Okay, there we go.
And then make sure it's one. Let's hit the artifact down there. Give her some inscriptions.
So I hit that. You want Delta on Gorgo or you want Arch on Gorgo?
No. Arch on Gorgo.
That's what I thought.
Arch on Gorgo.
Arch on Gorgo. There we go. And we'll give Delta over here. Thrasher, Steel Skin, Flurry, Butterfly Effect. Okay, Artifact is on. And you think this is going to make a difference?
I think it's got a chance to. Let me see here. Are you streaming to me again?
I should be. I've been running issues with the streaming. And here, let me try again. There you go.
There we go.
Also for Almer, he said Attila Arthur. The problem with Arthur is this. Arthur's skills are specifically built for him to be in the field. He's not going to be quite as viable when we talk about a commander that's going to work in a rally. And we tested that with our Arthur testing. If you missed that stream, you can check that out on the top right side of your screen. I did go through and enable that, and it just didn't work. It just wasn't viable. Chad, are you back?
What you're gonna do? Yeah, I got you. On the troop types on the right, make sure it's just one troop type. So we're just running infantry.
Okay, just infantry. There we go. And we are France. We do have that troop buff. So this should be pretty realistic. Let's see.
Gonna be realistic, and it's the one thing that I think's gonna hurt to kind of do a little bit. It's just Gorgo and CY just have so many synergies. Of course, Gorgo CY. The misconception with CY sometimes, they think he's perpetually got 40% counterattack. Well, that's just against the rally. He only has 25% counterattack. So a Gorgo CY is swarmable. I mean, you can go swarm that. It's not ideal. I would say it's kind of mid for an anti-swarm, but that's, if you're grasping for straws and you're trying to get to a point to where you are running an artifact, single troop type, and you're giving up some anti-swarm, then and that's the best you can do just to trade even, then you're in a pretty good place on the rally side.
That's also super unrealistic too. Like, and someone already told me I didn't put the right talent tree. I'll fix the talent tree and we'll rerun it. I got you, Oster. But
the talent tree for Gorgo is fine. You're running hold the line. That's good. That's fine.
You would run the defense tree. You wouldn't run the garrison tree.
Yes, I stick to, because you want testudo formation. That's kind of my jam on the garrison tree. I don't go hard into the garrison tree, but my jam on the defense tree is testudo formation.
Yeah,
and so that's always something that I always like.
So the other thing though that we're looking at here is what this means is gone are the days where you could be like a rally and garrison player and just specialize on one troop type. Like for a long time, that was what it was, is you had like your archer guy and he had the archer garrison and he had the archer rally, right? I know that's not you, Chad. Yep. I know how you feel about archers. But like that was a thing. Now,
but it's rare. It's rare nowadays. You got to, with the armaments and all and you're tearing up your gear. It's so hard to do that. JDR, that's so big time, dude. That's cool. Thanks for helping our boy Shappy. And Peace, of course, Peace is jumping in.
You guys are legends. Good job. Thank you guys. I'm so appreciative of you both. You guys are and a gift, guys.
Yeah. We're going to pull you along here. Oh, Bucks is in here. Bucks is lurking. Oh, this guy.
You guys just made my day.
So if you want to do it again, go ahead and change the tree to the garrison tree and see if you got anything different. I would try to keep hold the line. Let's see. Does he have a different garrison tree here?
There we go.
That one could work. You're going to miss out on hold the line. This is more for a multi-troop type, but you can run that. That's fine.
Okay, let's try it. Let's just see how it does. But the problem that I see here is you're telling an infantry player who's got Gorgo max, now you need to go max CY? What?
Yeah, and that's just to trade. That's just to trade even.
And that's also for only specific KVKs, right? You're not going to have an artifact in every duel. We're in Tides right now. We still don't have artifact. Artifact doesn't show up until Kingsland.
Yeah, and I think in Tides, you get the artifact after past 7 opens, so you can use it there, and then I think the first 10 to 12 hours of Kingsland is all you have the artifact for, and then it's gone.
Right. So, like, even if this pair is absurdly good, which maybe it is, I don't know, which maybe it is, like, you're barely breaking even.
Here's the thing. You've got to like do some optimization just to get to a point to where you're mitigating and trying to break even with this rally. And that's what I think people have to understand sometimes, is that when you look at rallies, anybody with field and no swarm issues, anybody can go run super high damage rallies.
Right.
But when you're able to actually run very prickly rallies that are anti-swarm that still do the trading that high damage rallies run, then that's when you're in the meta. That's when you're like, that's just set it and forget it. I don't care what the garrison is. We're just going.
Well, that's why Attila was so good for so long, right? It wasn't until they brought Zeno in with the heal and all that where it finally started breaking it. But that was such a paradigm shift at the time, because Zeno versus Attila when there's no swarm or no nothing, I mean, that was it. But
yes,
I wonder, should we throw her in just for funsies? I don't think she'll win, but
who's Zeno?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, why not?
She was the counter. Let's see what happens. Thank you, Peace. Ooh, I like the little balloons. That's pretty cool. Cav players have suffered.
Yes. Now we got into a debate on my stream because I made that comment before Arthur came out. We were Cav players. I was just woe with me, half trolling. But I was like, we get stuck with single damage commanders. Like we don't have an Attila meta rally like that's lasted a long time, and I just got absolutely cooked by everybody.
I got a lot of people crying about that. When I was making my William Wallace video when he first came out, all of the cavalry players were like, "What is this? We got robbed." So,
yes.
I don't know. I've heard it. The other thing, though, you have to remember is if you're using the artifact with CY, that's it. You don't get any other artifact pairs.
Yeah, no. You gotta put it on him, and you can't go run anything out else. Cav players are simps, nothing but complaining. Now, okay, PTI is one of our leaders, one of our guys in my kingdom, and he's half trolling here, but PTI is one of the best archer players in the game. Like he's off the charts. He's the one that rallied Baba and traded positive.
Oh,
and
heck
so,
yeah.
that is so he rips me about my calves all the time, but hit the 3 troop types up there in the troop. That way we've got
is this the pair we should
going.
run? I mean, I know Xeno YSS used to be the pair, but now that Hera's around, I gotta imagine.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hera's definitely.
Okay.
And then throw some inscriptions on her. And
what does she need? Wedge, Hunter, Balanced, Intrepid, Unstoppable. Let's do it. Okay. Maybe Xeno's coming back, guys. Because I think the advantage of her is she gives you a little bit more lasting power in your rally or in your garrison, but it's not looking good.
It would be interesting to see Xeno with CY, just because you've got the additional healing going on. And CY does some things when he gets healed. Now, I think it was debunked that some of CY's true damage stuff doesn't necessarily work with Xeno's healing. It has to be a mighty heal. So, but that's something you can at least test.
Okay, let's test it. I had artifact on. People got mad at me. Let's restart. Yeah, TJ also said you could just go Xeno Gorgo, which I guess could work.
Yeah.
Once you get below 50%, you start getting into some interesting situations there.
Yep.
Gorgo also has a little bit of skill damage, which is nice. But this is for a mixed march. I guess if you went Gorgo, you'd go infantry, which does give you direct counter. Maybe? I don't know.
But yeah, you're smoking that garrison. That's just not happening.
Oh, this is done. I'm not even gonna let it finish. It's over. Okay, I guess let's try Gorgo. I'm not optimistic for guys. Now is the time to get your city on territory. If this rally comes at you, I think you're done. I'm kind of excited about it. Part of me is wondering if I should max him just for that. Also, I don't know about you, Chad. You're a whale, so you probably have like 10 trillion gold heads, but even myself at this point, I think I have 750 gold heads. Thank you, PTI.
There you go. He gave himself a membership. That's awesome. Put the arch stuff on the Xeno Gorgo, because that's going to benefit you better.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Here we go. Arch, and you said calm, invincible, fearless, and straight to the point. Okay. Wow.
And then go to one troop type there.
Yep.
And we'll see how that does.
Let's see. Yeah, you're not taking this on your city.
We got to get Crix in here, piece. We found something. PTI, that's big time, dude. Thanks for the gift.
Does this work? It's not bad.
It's not as. I guess that's where we're at. It's like not as bad, right?
I think it's not as bad. It hurts, but it's better than most of the other pairs we've seen so far. I think the moral of the story is don't get rallied by this. I mean, PTI, if I were you, I'd be maxing this. So next round with Baba, you're taking him down.
Oh, there we go. He had, I mean, against a billion power city, I mean, you got to go skill damage. I think he was doing Ash ZL, I think, or it might have been Ash Nevsky. I think we were an artifact, so I can't remember what he did, but he was able to trade positive, and you can do that and give a bunch of deads. And so
I don't know, you double rally Baba with like Attila Subutai and Takeda Subutai.
It's so hard with Attila because you're going to take more sevs.
That's true.
But if you run the high skill damage stuff, then it's he's got to be online, because if you have enough players to run him down, you'll rip 60 million power off him, or 100 million power. Like
that means anything to him.
Probably not. But 100 million power. You don't want to just take deads to take deads. And so he'd much rather I know Baba. He'd much rather be doing that swarming big cities.
Surely. Although, to be honest, I think it's a vanity thing at this point. Like, if he goes below 1 billion power, he's going to be pissed.
Yeah. Oh, everybody has their floor. Everybody has their limits.
Me over here at 59 million power as my floor.
Run it against a really high skill damage garrison. Run it against Eleanor Ziska.
Okay. I never see cavalry garrisons. Also, when you think about like what you want to be running in KVK, I actually think this is kind of going to kill that for you. Because when you think about it, right, you ideally you level out your deads, right? You're rallying with one troop type, you're garrisoning with another. And that's kind of how it's been for the most part. But at this point, Eleanor Ziska, I mean, you really don't want to be garrisoning with that if you can avoid it. Let's see. Here we are. How are we looking? Everything good, Chad?
You're good. That's kind of the capture you want. So I think you're cooking there.
I'm going to go back
Good
to
there.
Arch just for funsies.
All right.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, no, that's not even.
Yeah, you can't even. And that garrison does a lot of damage. And that's not awful, but it's still going to get wrecked a little bit. But that particular garrison in a pass, if you're just going up against a single rally, it is really good. Yeah, you can change your civ to Germany, kind of help you a little bit, but you're not helping much there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's GG's. Xeno Gorgo did better. That's crazy. Yeah, this is brutal. Dang. So, I guess I should ask you, Chadski, are you going to max Subutai, or are you looking for a placement as MG?
No, 100%. Yeah, that's, I don't apply to many MGs. I got everything I need. But when that thing comes out, it's first A1. Give me this guy. I'll take first in MGE. And typically, I'll just throw my heads into it. I'm not the kind of guy that tries to go grab a whole bunch of MGs in a row or anything. So we'll get that thing maxed. We'll let it cook next KVK. It'll be fun.
Dang. Part of me wonders if I should apply again, because you do have that contingent of people with city rallies.
Oh yeah. Oh, no doubt. Do this just to see the proc rate. Run XY with Subutai and see.
This is gonna be despicable.
Now, go ahead and hit all the skill damage stuff and kind of see. Like, this guy's so good, he's gonna carry XY. And
why does that work though?
Well, because XY fires off so fast. Okay, now slow it down and look in the top left. You see that your proc rate is under 6 seconds. it fires off so fast. I mean, it's just crazy.
Jeez, this guy is brutal.
I mean, he'll carry anybody.
But
he's a lot like Arthur in the field, where we were testing Arthur, and Arthur's like carrying Khan and like carrying XY to like dual wins. You're just like, well, what's going on here? I mean, it's pretty wild how much you can run this thing up.
I gotta say, it makes me nervous for next generation infantry.
It does. I think that's what everybody's kind of waiting. Dude, Gorgo has been sitting there without a partner. Without a smite partner,
yeah. And Gorgo's really good. Gosh. I mean, Gorgo, I think it was Gorgo Luce, was one of the only marches that could directly counter Ho Chi Bing Wallace, or Ho Chi Bing Arthur. One of the only ones. So, maybe. If you throw
the butterfly effect on, that actual proc rate will go to like 5.1. I mean, it is so fast. I mean, it's like a Gatling gun. It's just rapid fire, like nonstop.
That's kind of disgusting.
And it's still not going to trade as well, but it's wild how that stuff can work.
So we're thinking Subutai is meta rally against any troop type. Yeah. You want him with Attila.
Pretty much.
Which I love. Who else do we got? I wonder if he could work with Belly.
So I don't know about Belly, because you're getting the best benefit from Belly. I mean, really, if he's swarming with you. Trying to think if we run Chandra primary.
That's what I was thinking. Chandra Attila was like that lurking meta. Remember that?
Yeah. Run them with the Delta and see what happens here because you got Chandra and you got the exhaust and you got the blessed. You got some weird stuff with Chandra it's just weird stuff.
Do you have Chandra maxed?
I do not. I never did.
I mean, I feel like no one does.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to try some CPO and Milianis combinations. I think you'll like.
Get some of these other rallies in. Although, I mean, it's the same deal that we were talking about with Arthur. Like, you did an Arthur testing as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you also find that Artifact doesn't really do anything for him?
Yeah. Yeah. It is the Artifact for him. I don't know if it necessarily works, but Arthur as a secondary, is gonna do some crazy stuff. Now, the one thing I think that would be fun to try, and I already saw some reports on it, is Luce is a combo commander,
right.
Even though it's very, very small damage factor, but he does have those same kind of effects. Is to pull Luce over with an artifact behind Arthur and you run the butterfly. That's probably the best thing you can do in the field.
But that assumes you have Delta formation, right?
Yep.
I think that the whole formation hinges on that, and the problem is you have to invest so heavily on that to even get it. Yeah, this actually kind of worked, Chad. I mean, it's not Attila, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you have Chandragupta maxed, you could do it. There's no
do some cooking.
This is interesting. Should we try and put him in primary? See how that holds up.
Well, I think what you ought to do is start working on maybe put CPO Milianis there, and let's see.
Okay, CPO primary and throw an artifact on our boy.
Yep.
Let's try that. There's CPO. There he is. Artifact on formation. Arch or Delta, you think?
I think Arch was the best for this. I think you can try both.
Yeah, we got time. Why not? Don't need artifacts for Arthur because Cav already have best field commanders. I'm not gonna say that, but okay, Loki. If you guys haven't seen Ragnar with artifact behind Nevsky, it's kind of disgusting. It's really good. Okay, let's do this. I think we're all set. That looks right. That cooks.
Yeah, it starts to do some work there. Of course, you're running the infantry into calves. I think it's probably going to fire off even quicker with butterfly.
6.9.
Mm-hmm.
He's proccing pretty quick compared to the Garrison. That's not a bad pair. The question that remains, though, is this going to be better for you than Attila? Right? Because in theory, you want to use your artifact where you're going to get the most bang for your buck.
Right.
So let's see. Nevsky Ragnar PTI. It's low-key really good. I did a testing, and Ihara had max tech, and I did not, and I obliterated her march, which was pretty fun.
Run our boy primary and run him with the butterfly, and then put CPO behind him.
Okay, let's try it. There we go. CPO. Okay, and let's get this on there. We'll do Delta, because why not? I know you wanted to see that butterfly effect kick in. Yep, that's active. Okay, we still good. This is not as good.
Not as good. No. There's a couple of things, I think. Some normal damage mitigation. Ziska clears some different things, so he might be clearing the burn. Is that right? Look at Ziska's skills over there. There's something he does where he, if I remember this right, first of all, he hits hard.
And he has AoE, which is nice.
Skill damage, dope.
Remove
all normal buffs. Yeah. He's got some clearing stuff that I think helps. So I think that that's why people still run Ziska sometimes. They'll put an artifact on him and they'll run him behind like CY and just weird stuff.
Oh, we're gonna reset this. Let's get back over here. I just want to see. I feel like that didn't do very well. Oh yeah, instantly double trades. You pause this at any point in time, you're almost trading double. There you go, right there.
It's
Boom.
great.
I'll take that
It's
report
wild.
to the bank.
It's wild.
That's Cavs on Cav. I think this is the pair. I mean, I don't think you need an artifact for him. That's what I'm gonna say. I see a lot of like, oh, maybe you could, but if I get an artifact, whether I'm a rally or a garrison lead, I'm looking for where I'm gonna get the most value. If it's just like minimal gains, like maybe I take a little bit less here or there, that's not what I'm chasing, right? There are rally artifact setups you can use if you need them, right? I don't think you need this.
No, you're right. You don't.
I think he's just going to be a raw, destructive beast, which is going to completely mess everything up. My only fear is, as you said, if they come out next infantry cycle with something that can break him, I'm going to be a little pissed. Because then,
well, I think if this is as good as it kind of is projecting to be, I think I hope these guys are so good development. They know and a lot of times they won't overreact to something that's come out and been meta, but they do need to counter this if it's going to be as good as it's projected to be. And if they do counter it, then I mean, infantry's coming. Infantry, MGE, Garrison with Smite is coming. It's just get ready because it's coming. And you go put that with Gorgo. Gorgo doesn't have the Smite tree, and maybe she's a secondary to the new infantry or the infantry garrison that has a Smite tree or something.
I can see that,
but you would have to just assume that would be probably a hard counter. What I did like about this is that when they released Arthur, they gave him skill damage, right? And it kind of helped bridge the gap.
Yes, which is
because
huge.
there are no other combo commanders to pair him with, right? You can't even we're just trying to makeshift stuff, like put Attila behind, or run Philip behind Arthur. Can you make that work? And they kind of did the same thing with the rally because there's no other combo commander to pair, Subutai with. So they inherently made combo enhanced by normal damage, and everybody knows you have Attila. And so they kind of gave him a pair, right? They gave him somebody he can pair with. And then it'll be the same thing, but that's going to be a long time. It's like 10 months, man.
You think 10 months till infantry cycle?
No. 10 months until Subutai gets a partner in rally.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it takes almost a full year.
But the question is, within the next 3 months, are they going to make this guy irrelevant?
Yeah, that's the only issue.
With the rate they've been releasing commanders lately, that's my biggest fear. He's meta right now. He breaks every garrison we've thrown him at. But within the next 3 months, are they going to find someone else that makes him irrelevant? I mean, he's always going to be a city rally, right? I think he does have that going for him. But that's my big concern. Siege gear. Siege is not really supported on here in the simulator.
Gotcha. It's not. Oh, poor Speckoh. Oh my gosh.
He's gotten a lot of ass for it, but the siege gear is not supported on here. Here's the thing. I also probably wouldn't use... His skills are really very much rally based. Like, this is not going to work in a range setup. I don't even know if this is going to work in the field. Like, we could just... Screw it. Let's just have some fun. Who do you want with him?
You have to put Arthur primary.
Okay.
So you put Arthur primary, and then you put
Ho Chu Bing Arthur.
Subutai.
Let's see how these two do. 230, 230, same tech.
Yeah, that's good. Feral Nature's good.
That one?
No. Go to the first one. That's Feral Nature. Max out the skill tree.
Okay, there we go. And that's fine. Let's see. France. Let's go to Arabia. Start battle.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to get smoked pretty good. Now try it with the inscriptions because that's where it kind of opens up for Arthur, and go ahead and put the hunter and everything. Put the
all that good stuff. I'm curious here. Because if he does okay... No, reset. No. Okay, here we go. Let's give you your Delta formation, just for fun. In theory, this is the march you want Delta formation on, right? You got Arthur and Subutai.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, and it's gonna do better. It's still gonna get beat pretty good, but
yeah, you're still getting wrecked. I do want to see. Let's say you got Luce Alex, right? Because that's probably the march everyone's obsessed with. And they're always like, Shappy, test Luce Alex. I'm like, Luce Alex is pretty rough in duels, guys. And just gotta tell you. Let's go over here. Let's go all this good stuff. Here we go. Okay, let's see. If it beats Luce Alex, it's field viable.
Gonna be pretty close. You got to remember, it's in the field. You know, Luce's big AOE, but then again, so is Arthur. And run that again, real quick. Let's see that.
That was really quick. It's because they're proccing so much faster. Look at that skill proc rate.
Oh, it's night and day. It's a whole second and a half.
Let's try the Ho Chu Bing with Nevsky, maybe? That's supposed to be the best march. Because if it works...
we were getting Huo Arthur to beat Nevsky or Huo.
Huo Arthur beat Huo Nevsky. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
but I'm trying to baseline, right? Because pre-Arthur release, this was the duo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so much single target.
It works. I wouldn't run it. I wouldn't run it.
If I would either.
No, you got Ho Chu Bing Joan.
Huo's just so good. Man, that guy is so good. I remember when he came out, it was like hey, we need to get, maybe you skip Huo. I was like, why are y'all skipping Huo? Are you kidding me? This guy. Yeah.
I didn't skip Huo. I maxed him pretty quick. Well, this has been awesome. I feel like I've learned a lot. What do you think, Chadski? What are your final thoughts here?
Yeah, no, it's great. Well, I think overall, if you're trying to project, and again, Speckoh Simulator is never 100%, and sometimes it's not 80 or 90%, just depending on some of the little bugs he's got to figure out and different things. But it is really, really good, and it gives us something we can play with, because I would rather be able to take 100 samples of a simulator that's 85, 90% right than to not have a simulator at all.
Oh, 100%. And just max it.
And the best, and the best thing I think for this is that it's projecting that this rally is so overpowered. It's just going to smash just about anything you throw up against it. And when you got to get your enemy, if you're going to run this rally and you got somebody on your kingdom that's fortunate enough to have Delta, and you're going to run it in against an enemy that's in an artifact, and they got to go makeshift and get a Gorgo CY and have great stuff on it and see if they can at least counter the rally. But the main thing is, like, even when Justinian came out, I mean, he wrecked just about every garrison, and he even really did work on Gorgo. However, the hard part with that was you couldn't run it all the time. I mean, heck, you couldn't even run it half the time, because Justinian Nevsky or Nevsky Justinian, however you ran it was just so easily swarmed down, easily. And so you can have a meta rally against the garrison. That's why, like, Eleanor's so good as a garrison, but she's so swarmable, you almost can't run her sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're actually looking at something that's going to give you longevity, something that you can throw into any situation and it's still trading and performing as well as any of the high damage stuff, then you're hitting kind of meta status. You're hitting like, holy cow, this is the meta. This is something that you can run anywhere. I think that's what they're giving us. And I mean, it's going to be pretty potent. I mean, the Attila Subutai is just, I mean, golly, it's just gobs of damage. It's gobs of kick out damage.
I mean, I think this rally is probably without a doubt a meta. I think the double rally capabilities are super exciting. The city rally capabilities are super exciting. From a garrison standpoint, I would be terrified right now because you don't have a garrison that can beat it effectively. The other thing that really is eye-opening for me is you have to remember, a lot of the time these garrisons are not full T5. Most of the time, I would say in my playing, they're not. And so in that scenario where most of the time you're hitting a T4 mixed garrison or someone's trying to farm fill, ooh, your farms are getting wrecked. Like,
yeah, they're gonna get one shot on some of that combo stuff. I mean, holy.
Like,
and that's you know that and you just got to think about it in real life rock. Okay, simulators are fine, and just 1v1 versus garrisons, you can test that stuff out. That's great, but let's really think about this, especially at the A seed and the high A seed and the Imperium levels. You're getting so many swarms. Like, good kingdoms don't just sit there and let their garrisons get wrecked. Right. They just don't. They're gonna counter rally you. They're gonna time out a swarm. They're gonna do all that thing, all those things. And if you make it punishing, as big as some kingdoms are, or even some A seeds with a lot of good players, there's only so many times. And PTI can attest to this. He and I will go swarm down a bunch of high prickly rallies, and you get to about your 7th or 8th round of doing that, and you're looking at each other like, I'm burning my speed ups right now. Like, what are we doing?
Right. I might skip this next one.
Yeah. I mean, you just exhausted, and so that's one of the things you look forward to is when, just after all these years, the fact that we saw a CPO Emilianus pairing with Attila that's really, really good, and now they're going to give us this with Attila. Like, holy cow, this guy! Like, if you invested in Attila 4 years ago, you're still using him today. Not just like using him. Hey, yeah, I'm using him for city rallies, or I'll use him, to go poke out of my city or something like that. But you're actually using him for the meta, and we still run Gorgo Attila, and I run Attila Gorgo all the time. I mean, it's just crazy what the value that commander has given, not just in the field, because, you have some commanders that last in the field a long time, like Juan and stuff, but in the rally meta and in the garrison meta, it's just crazy. It's wild. So,
yeah. I mean, Attila has been my top killer, and just because that normal damage is so merciless on those severely wounded. So I'm excited about the future, Chadski.
Nah, it'll be awesome, bud. It'll be awesome. I appreciate you letting me jump on, and man, best of luck with the channel. Hopefully, we got you some new members, and
I think so.
Be sure to check out all your stuff. And an interview with Speckoh would be really good. He's very, very smart guy, and Speckoh's he's played in a couple of kingdoms I've been in, and he's playing in the one I'm in now with an account he's got. So it's always a lot of fun to kind of get his thoughts and ideas on some things, and he really loves this thing. Like, he will work his tail off on this simulator. And even in his Discord, if somebody pops up like, hey, I kind of found a bug, there's something happening when this happens with this commander skill, he'll immediately go try to find it. And I've asked him to like add a talent tree here and there.
Oh yeah.
And he'll go do that. And he's he really works hard. So he's a great guy. And it's really cheap. He keeps it very affordable for everybody to grab the simulator and just go have fun with. And this is where we do our cooking, bro. This is where we find stuff.
Yeah.
And so the value of it is off the charts compared to the cost. And he's a good dude. So that interview would be a lot of fun for you.
Yeah. No, I had a great time. If you guys haven't already, do hit that subscribe button right over there, bottom right-hand corner. And if you haven't subscribed to Chadski yet, what are you waiting for? I know most of you came from him. He rated me. If you didn't click subscribe before he rated me, guys, what are you doing? So thank you all. Thank you, Chadski. And we'll see you all later.